Hello everyone, welcome to another video of React.js 19 tutorial series. In the previous video, we saw how we can create a useRef hook and how we can access a DOM element. We created two reference variable for two corresponding HTML input elements. But imagine a case where we have 50 HTML elements for which we want to access the DOM object. We can definitely do it by creating 50 different reference variable, but it is going to reduce the readability of the React code. And also we might end up writing duplicate logic into a React component. So to deal with such situations, we can use same useRef hook, and instead of referring to a single HTML element, it can refer to multiple HTML elements. How we can do it? Using a JavaScript map. So instead of maintaining a single value for a single HTML element, now we will make reference variable to store multiple values in the form of map so that it can refer to multiple HTML elements. So now let me remove these two reference variable, and I am going to create a new reference variable, and this reference variable I am going to use for all the input elements in my component. Here, instead of passing null, I have to pass an empty JavaScript map. So this is how we represent an empty map, and values to this empty map will be filled by an helper function. Now I'm going to create a helper function which will help us to push the values to the input ref. And here we go. Now let me create a helper or setter method. This setter method will take an argument which will be a key. So for each HTML element, this key will be a unique string. And again, this returns a function, and this function will take an argument, and this will be the element. And now we can use input ref dot current, and we can use the key to represent the key of the map, and then the L, it represents the value. So now this setter method will push the HTML element against each unique key, and we can use this setter method into the HTML elements. So initially it might look little complex, but as you use it for 2 or 3 HTML elements, you will get used to it. Now we have to replace these ref attributes, or we have to update these ref attributes with the setter function. And here we have to pass the unique key. So for now we can pass post title as a key. So similarly we can do it for post content as well, setter method and a unique key. Again, here we can provide post content. So now we have attached these two reference variable using a setter method, and it is going to create a unique key and attach the HTML element against that key, right? And now we have to access the values from the input ref. If someone is typing anything to input element, we want that value has to be accessed. So previously we used it using current dot value and using a separate reference variable, but now we have to update or modify the code, and we can use input ref, a single reference variable dot current and name of the key. We want it for post title, so we can provide the key for the post title. So this will print out the value for the post title HTML element. Here we go. Similarly, we can do it for the post content HTML element. And for the post content, we had given post content as a key. So to access the value, we have to give the same key. Now, if I go ahead and uh, give dummy values to input and content, and if I click on the button, it should print the values to the console. So this is how we can access multiple DOM elements using a single reference variable. That's all about this particular video. I hope it was helpful. If you have any doubt, you can ask your question into the comment box. I reply to each and every comment into the comment box. And take care, and I will see you in the next one.